Uh, Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Thursday, October 23rd at 7:01, Bloomfield Town Planning and Zoning Commission. First item on the agenda is a call to roll call.
Byron Lester,
Here.
Renee James,
Here.
Dwight Bolton,
Here.
Leon Peters, Stephen Millette,
Here.
Jennifer Marshall Neely,
Here.
Kevin Goff,
Here.
Ola Ina,
Here.
Roger O'Brien,
Here.
Eunice Medwinter.
Here.
Quorum.
Okay, thank you. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for September 25th, 2025. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve the minutes. Second.
It's been moved in second. Any corrections, any additions?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I had a couple of minor corrections, like capitalizing F in LaFontaine and a few things like that, which I gave the secretary.
Okay, great, thank you. Any further corrections? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Abstention?
Abstain.
One abstention. Commissioner Bolton? And the chair votes aye. Next item on the agenda is a public hearing was scheduled, but there was a meeting between staff and the applicant, and there was a request to table this application until our November meeting. So at this time, the chair entertain a motion to table this application.
So move.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Oppose, abstention, chair votes aye. Next item on the agenda, I'll ask the secretary if she would read that application under new business.
Informal presentation by property owner at 919 Blue Hills Avenue for possible site improvements, an increase in number of used cars for sales and site parking layout reconfiguration, property owner 919 Blue Hills LLC.
Is there anyone here for that application? Okay, if you would take the podium and state your name and address, please. Thank you.
Is this a hot mic? My name is John Clark. I'm a licensed architect. I represent AXA Car Sales and Repair. It was suggested by Alex Salamet, the zoning enforcement officer for the town, that we make an appearance before the TP&Z just to get any bugs shaken out before we make a formal application for a zoning variance. The variance is related to a non-conforming use in terms of, or specifically about the number of vehicles that could be parked on the site. And I have a few pass outs. Yes.
Excuse me, just a quick question from staff.
They need more. Okay, thank you.
Just a quick question. John, is
Did
he?
everybody get one?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I was supposed to.
How many more do we, oh, it's down, sorry.
Yes,
Sorry, he just wants to ask staff a question.
yes. I wanted to know if it is a variance that he's looking for. And if so, would that be something that would be handled by zoning ZBA?
Hi, Linda Loriano for the record. He is not searching for a variance today. The property at 919 Blue Hills is they had received a couple of variances in the past. One for used cars for sales on the lot. Due to the fact that the Blue Hills Gateway District does not allow for outdoor storage. Any vehicles that are parked outdoors is considered, storage, outdoor storage, so of vehicles. So the applicant was proposing to wanted to increase the number of used cars for sale. The variance in the past have been granted. They believe that the site can adequately accommodate additional vehicles. The site was a former gas station, and they have made some improvements to the site. It was a blighted property about a year ago until the new property owner bought it. However, it was noticed recently that the number of vehicles on site that was approved for it's been increased substantially. They are only allowed to have 10, and I don't want to get into the details because then it becomes a variance talk. But they want to increase the number of vehicles on site. They feel they can adequately have it on site, and it was suggested by staff, the zoning enforcement officer, that if they're going to start investing in this and are serious about it and can prove that they can fit it adequately on a site plan and make improvements to the lot, including extending the sidewalk where it ends right at the intersection of Blue Hills and Maplewood. And also put some plantings and buffers in the front. Currently, there's no plantings at all. Additionally, enclosing one of the curb cuts on the state right of way, but they would have to obviously go to the state for permission on that. And they're also want to remove that big canopy that's in the front yard setback.
Sorry.
Normally, whenever a non-conforming use wants to continue, with their use, they get permission from they get a variance. But in addition to the variance, if they get approved, they have to come before you. So I guess what they're doing is making sure that they come before you informally, with the thought that if they do get approved to have more vehicles on the site, that you're aware and that they have your feedback already. So basically, that's what they're here tonight for. But they're not here to discuss any variance. They're not here to discuss, the variance application that they're going to be asking for the commission. They want your feedback on what your thoughts are about the improvements that they are proposing should they be granted the variance.
Okay, so this is just a presentation that you're giving.
Just a presentation.
Just a courtesy.
And then prior to coming to us, if you are seeking a variance, you would be doing that through the zoning board of appeals, ZBA?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
The pass out I gave you, the pass out that I disseminated includes a small scale site plan, and parking spaces 22 and 23 are identified with a circle and a dash through it, meaning no good. And this is a copy of a letter from the fire marshal, Jim Simon, and based on his observation, these two parking spaces should be eliminated. Other than that, he sees no problem with the site plan. Of course, he doesn't grant us the variance, but it's a start. And thank you for clarifying that and everything, Linda. So. Did everyone get a handout? Okay. That is the gist of the presentation. If you look at the site plan, you'll see an attempt to beautify the site. As Linda said, it's in the gateway district. We have shrubs planted here. This is a curvilinear appearance in terms of the layout of the parking. And these are the two spaces that will be eliminated here. Otherwise, it's 31 parking spaces for repair, for customers, and for sales.
I just want to clarify, sorry, just for clarification, when you say.
Are you gonna be at one?
Just for clarification on the elimination, those are not two legal parking spaces. Those are two parking spaces that they were proposing. And the commission, Jim Simone, suggested that he eliminates those two to allow for the fire truck to get through between the buildings. And that was just, I wanted to clarify when you said eliminate, you're not technically eliminating the parking.
Any questions?
No, actually, we're not gonna actually take any questions because this is not gonna be before us yet. So this is just you giving us a little site preview or presentation of what you would like to see happen. But then there's a couple steps that have to take place before you come back before us.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commission.
You're made aware.
What?
Okay, the next item on the agenda. Oh, I'm sorry, John.
Yep.
Oh. Okay, the next item on the agenda, I'm going to ask the secretary if she would read under old business.
Yes, 885 to 871 Blue Hills Avenue. Arbella Affordable Housing Plan discussion, housing preference.
Members of the commission, first, it's a delight to see you all here. And it's I think a first, and hopefully it continues and your schedule will permit it, because I think it's great. Not sure what we can do about the seating configuration, but we'll work our way through it. But thank you, and I put this item on the agenda because when you approved the Arbella Blue Hills development now a year ago, you also approved as part of that, because they had an affordable housing component, the required affordable housing plan that's required under the state statutes. And in one of the provisions of that plan was the ability for this commission to prioritize, if you so choose, to establish preferences for the initial rental of the property for the affordable units. For example, if you wanted to give preference to Bloomfield residents, if you wanted to give preference to first responders, that's, those military veterans, any category. So I put it on the agenda this evening to put the topic in your minds, with the hope that we would, you could think about it, and when we come to the November meeting, we could have a discussion and see, if you wish to establish preferences, and see if we can then come to a consensus of what those preferences can be. You could then approve them, and we can pass them on to the Arbella folks. They are fully aware that we're doing this, and they're completely comfortable with us doing this, and we're very comfortable with having a preference for the affordable units if you so choose. So that's basically to sort of give you a forewarning of what we'd like to discuss at the next meeting. Be
Okay.
happy to answer any questions.
Do any commission members have any questions regarding that? Commissioner,
My good.
yes, Rod,
My only question, Mr. Rogers,
Mr. Rod.
my only question is, why you didn't have disabled on here in terms of a category?
I just did and so forth. I did not make it an extensive category.
Also disabled was and so forth.
Yes,
Okay.
and then it's not an intentional left out. It's just, it's not working all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, Commissioner Goff.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I think that, I think this is good and we need to have this discussion. The one thing that I guess I would ask staff potentially to think about in terms of some of these, and I realize these were just general categories, but we say something like Bloomfield residents, okay? I think one thing that we're really thinking of for this kind of affordable housing for seniors is that it starts the flow of letting people who own property and have lived in a house in Bloomfield for some length of time to start, transitioning, downsizing, opening up some housing for young families and that kind of thing. So when we say Bloomfield residents, it seems like that's going to need some additional definition. So for example, do you give preference to people who've been Bloomfield residents for 20 years? As opposed, do they have preference over people who've been Bloomfield residents for 2 years? I moved to Bloomfield, I bought a house, now I want to move into these apartments. And I think my preference would be to have some kind of structure, but I don't want it to be too real complicated. I just, as a general comment, I think that to have this discussion, we probably need to put some structure
Okay.
around like that.
The other thought we had is whether we wanted to give a preference for all the units. I mean, there's 19 units. And whether or not we want to maybe just give preferences for 50% of the units so that non-Bloomfield residents also, because we don't want to be exclusive as well as we want to be inclusive. So give it some thought there. I mean, we have 8 one-bedrooms, 10 two-bedrooms. We want to do 50% each or something like that. Maybe not. If you want to do more, that's fine, but you may want to give that some thought as well.
Commissioner, oh my God, Marshall Neely.
Thank you, sir. I thought about this for quite some time, and maybe this is not the platform, but I was thinking with, the shortage that we have on educators in Bloomfield, maybe educators who are committed to teaching in the Bloomfield schools. I don't know how you would word that or how we would word that if it came around, but if educators are living in Bloomfield, it actually commits to them
Okay.
giving back to Bloomfield.
We're open to all suggestions. We do not have a grasp of all of them.
Commissioner James.
Is this an idea that we'd have a group of, if you qualify, if you qualify under one of these, then you have a preference? Or is it just we're saying we have one preference, like Bloomfield residents? Or are we saying we have a group of them, like if you're a resident or if you're a first responder or if you're a veteran?
And I think there's a number of ways you can do it. You can have all the categories, and if you're in that category, it's going to be still a first come, first serve, but you'd rise to the top. Or you can prioritize them if you want. You may want to say that Bloomfield senior residents are the number one priority. The Bloomfield first responders are the second responder. Bloomfield disabled are.
So we could rank a preference as
You can
well.
rank the preferences
Um,
if you so choose.
And it's also just a preference. It's not to say that
We're calling it a preference, just we think that's the best term for it.
it's not, you couldn't say if someone didn't meet these preferences that they couldn't have that unit.
Right, but in terms of the first go-round, these would have the first opportunity. If there weren't enough, if you didn't meet the category, if none of these categories, it's not a word I really want to use, but if these categories did not show up,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like hypothetically, if
You know-
there were
you know-
no one
Mrs.
that was.
Mrs. So-and-so could come in and Mr. So-and-so could come in. Yeah,
Yeah, and
as
still,
long as they meet, there is a minimum age across the board of 55
yeah, and income. So the income would be like. at least
for the,
here
for the
now.
low, for the affordable housing, yes.
Affordable, yeah,
Yes, yes.
yeah. Thank you.
Any further questions? Commissioner Goff?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Just in bringing up the comment you made, and this is actually not so much the preference issue, but I know this has come up in some of the discussions with Arbella. This is a senior restricted housing. It's 55 and over.
Correct.
What exactly does that mean? Does it mean that everyone in the apartment has to be 55 and over? Does it mean that the apartment holder has to be 55 and older? Do we know what those
I
conditions?
do not know the answers to those questions, but we can certainly get them, and
Okay,
Jeff
good.
will certainly share them with us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, any further questions? Okay, thank you, Jonathan, unless you
Yeah.
have something else you want to add.
I do, Mr. Chairman, if you would indulge me before you adjourn.
Oh, yes.
Your next meeting is scheduled for Thursday, the 20th of November. I have a serious conflict and will not be able to attend. I had a conversation with the chairman, and one thing I would ask you to consider is whether or not there's a willingness to meet on the night before, on Wednesday, the 19th, if that works with your schedules, as opposed to the 20th. Linda certainly can do more than a capable job, but if you will be considering the cathedral proposals, I'd like to be here for that, but if I can't, I understand. But I had a conversation with the chairman, and we said we would bring it up, but it's obviously entirely up to all of you. That has a conflict?
Yeah, there could be one conflict. Commissioner James is also chair of the DTC, and I think they have a meeting that night.
Okay.
Would encompass,
Compass,
Every
bunch of
Democrat on
you.
the.
Hopefully.
Okay, we'll keep it at the 20th, and Linda will carry forth. I will not be able to attend.
okay. Before you go, is there any other new business or updates you want to add?
No, sir.
Okay. At that point, Chair entertain a motion.
Second.
I thought Roger was gonna speak. No?
Oh,
No, I was.
I'm sorry.
I didn't know whether you wanted to entertain meeting on the 13th rather than the 20th of November, the week earlier.
Linda won't be here then. And you don't want to meet without Linda.